Okay. Alright, we're trying to focus in here. We're doing a heck of a job, aren't we? Oh my goodness gracious. Here we are trying to run a... trying to figure things out here. You would think that after all these years we would have this down to a science. Boy, oh boy. Okay, well here it is, Christmas, the year of 2014. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. Been a tiring year, hasn't it? A lot of excitement. Boy. Well, I'll tell you what. In the past, we've always done, and had fun doing, reading the 'Twas a Night Before Christmas. The ever-popular poem that was written by Clement Moore years and years ago. Well, nevertheless, we all heard about the letter that was written by this little gal in 1897 named Virginia O'Hanlon. And her big thing was, gee, is there really a Santa Claus? God. Well, I guess the title is, of course, it says, Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Well, okay. So what we're going to do is have a little reading here on the eve of our Christmastide. Alrighty. Well, one day in the autumn of 1897, little Virginia O'Hanlon, who lived in New York City and who was 8 years old, had an argument with some of her schoolmates about Santa Claus. And Virginia felt for sure that there was a Santa Claus, but her friends said, there was no Santa Claus. Never gave you that idea, kiddo. Oh, well. And you know what? Virginia, of course, was greatly disturbed by that. I had the same feeling when I was 38. Oh, well. That night, she went ahead and wrote a letter to the editor of The Sun, which was the local newspaper, and it was delivered every morning. Right at her breakfast table, ladies and gentlemen, as her father would read it. And he said that, a little aside, of course, her father said something to the effect is, hey, Virginia, you want to find out about Santa Claus? Write a letter to The Sun, because everything they print is true. Ooh. Would anybody say that today? In your local newspaper? Okay. Well, she wrote this anyway, and she soon had a reply. Well, one of the editorial writers of The Sun was a fancy dandy named Mr. Francis P. Church, a man with a big heart and a fine appreciation of poetry. Yes, indeedy. And he sat down and wrote an answer to Virginia, and it was printed in the paper the next morning. Yeah. Boy, they were quick back in those days. This was September, and it was in September 21st. 1897, she had a reply, and this answer had in it so much sympathy and thought that it has been printed every year again and again and again, and you're going to have me, the old curmudgeon, read it again. Not again and again, but this is the first time. I might come back with this next year if the good Lord's willing. I'm sure, of course, that little Virginia was tickled to death back there in 1897. Well, here's the reply to her letter. But first of all, this is what Virginia wrote. She said, Dear Editor, I am 8 years old, and some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. And my father says, if you see it in the sun, it is so. See? Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? Signed, Virginia O'Hanlon, 115 West 95th Street, New York City, New York. Okay, so Mr. Church went ahead and had his reply, and he printed it in that paper, and it reads as such. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except what they see. Now, they think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. Virginia, whether they may be men's or children's, the minds are all little. In this great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, an ant in his intellect, as compared with the boundless world about him, as measured by the intelligence capable of grasping the whole of truth and knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exist. And you know they abound and give to your life its highest beauty and joy. Alas, how dreary would be the world if there were no Santa Claus. Think about that. It would be as dreary as if there were no Virginias. There would be no childlike faith then, no poetry, no romance to make tolerable this existence. We should have no enjoyment except in sense and sight. The eternal light with which childhood fills the world would be extinguished. Oh, how profound. Not believe in Santa Claus? You might as well not believe in fairies. You might get your papa to hire men to watch in all the chimneys on Christmas Eve to catch Santa Claus. But even if they did not see Santa Claus coming down, what would that prove? What would that prove at all? Nobody sees Santa Claus, but that is no sign that there is no Santa Claus. The most real things in the world are those that neither children nor men can see. Did you ever see fairies dancing on the lawn? I used to back in my days when I was taking a nip or two. Of course not, but that's no proof that they're not there. Nobody can conceive or imagine all the wonders that are unseen and unseeable in the world. Take that, Virginia. Yes, you may tear apart the baby's rattle and see what makes the noise inside, but there is a veil covering the unseen world which not the strongest man, nor even the united strength of all the strongest men that ever lived, could tear apart. Only faith, fancy, poetry, love, romance can push aside that curtain and view and picture the supreme beauty and glory beyond. Is it all real? Ah, Virginia, in all this world, there is nothing else real and abiding. No Santa Claus? No Santa Claus? Thank God he lives. And he lives forever. 1,000 years from now, Virginia, nay, 10,000 times 10,000 years from now, he will continue to make glad the heart of childhood. And that's it, folks. A letter from Mr. Church from the Sun, the editorial letter, and the answer to Virginia's time-honored query, is there a Santa Claus? Well, when we look back on things anyway, when we think about it, is Christmas is for children. It is. Think about it. You ever really stop and think and look when you give a child a present at Christmas time? Think about it. It's not like giving it to an adult, to a father, to a mother, to a sister, to a brother, aunt, uncle. But you give it to a 4-year-old child or a 5-year-old, and by golly, their eyes light up and the world is all aglow. Yeah, little children going to sleep at night on Christmas Eve, and they can't wait to find out what the devil's under that tree. Was I a good boy or girl? Of course, nowadays they might go ahead and say, was I a good transgender in this politically correct world? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? As long as you have a good time and you don't hurt anybody, that's what really matters in this world. Just have a good time and don't hurt anyone. Well, accept responsibility for your actions. Just do good. Do not harm your fellow man. Walk the straight and narrow, and you'll be all right. Yeah, you'll be all right. And here we are, another Christmas, coming and going, and with a good Lord willing, I'll be back next year, the year 2015. So, leave you with this parting word. Merry Christmas to one and all, and a Happy New Year. And always remember this, though, is whether you play a sport or not, always remember to be one. That's all that is. Okay, so here we are, rounding third and heading home. And I'm going to go ahead and feed those little pesky reindeer. I'll be coming down your chimney soon, boys and girls, so look out for the big guy. They'll see you around, you hear? Merry Christmas to everybody, and, well, Happy New Year. Y'all take care now, you hear? It's been fun. All right, you take care now. See ya. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas, everyone.